Wait 1 second.
Hey everybody, Scott Pierce here with the Gong for the lender call today with Listings to Leads. Thank you for joining us. And let me know who's here. Lynn, awesome. Good to see you. I know.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, we had a little technical difficulty yesterday. So thank you, everyone, for your patience.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was on that call at 9, ended at 10:15. No problem. And the crazy thing is, I logged in this morning. There were people on the call yesterday that were able to get on. And so there was all these comments from people. And
Oh,
so I think they
really?
must have logged in before I was able to. Yeah, Will Smith, anybody else's screen just spinning. So they were able to get into the chat, but they couldn't see anything. Yeah. So what happened was, what was it? Google and Cloudflare went down. And so it threw a lot of other websites down, StreamYard being one of them. So it wasn't a StreamYard issue as much as a Google and Cloudflare issue. So
Oh, I see.
yeah. So anyways, everybody can see us okay. Everybody can hear us okay. I see we got a few people with us. We had quite a few people sign up for this, which for a lender call, that was exciting. And so let's see who's here. Go ahead and type in, Lynn, are you still with us? And let me see who else is. Thank you for a last minute reschedule here for the call today. So what I want to do is I don't want to do a normal training because as I said in the chat, Yi Gong was one of the co-founders of Listings to Leads. She was a top mortgage lender before Listings to Leads. When the company started, she became really the director of finance and handled everything financial with the company. And so she stepped away from mortgage lending. And now that she's got more time in her hands, she's gotten back into mortgage. And it's been something she's been wanting to do for a couple of years. And so she got her license reactivated and took all the, you got to take some tests and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, you just do your normal licensing or the
Yeah.
continuing education, all that stuff, right? Everybody who has a mortgage license knows what you need to go through the hula hoop to get it done. Call it hula
Exactly.
hoop. Yeah.
The hoops to get it done.
Yeah. Well, I know. I call it hula hoops. Makes it
Yeah, no, that's
more
fine.
fun. So anyways, the reason we want to have this is we feel like, we have some hands-on experience as a lender, like in my situation. So we can relate what I'm doing, what I see is successful, and send that to all our lenders because we want everybody else to be successful. That's
Yeah,
really
we want to make this more of a mastermind versus a training. Like we're going to do both. We're going to walk through, what to do
things
and
we
how to
can
do
do.
it, of
Yeah.
course. But
Yeah.
what I really want to make sure is that we're talking at a higher level, more strategy, how to engage agents. I'm telling you, Yi has she's I think so I want her to share some of her experiences that she's had so far. And it's only been a couple of weeks, right? I mean, it's
Right.
only been like 3 or 4 weeks that you've been really back active.
Yeah. And also, just you guys know, there have been a lot of success on the agent side using Facebook ads, open house mastery. So that success has been very inspiring to a lot of people
Yeah.
on this platform. So I want those success to be transpired and let all the lenders know that you can do this as well. You just got to follow the playbook. Okay, so that's why we're here. And I know, Lynn, you have a question. How do you do the open house ad? We're going to get to that today. But I think before we even get there, let's talk about, as a lender, how do you get business? Okay, so if you guys don't mind, like on the chat box, just tell me, are you new to listings leads? Have you been like using the system? What's your experience? So that way we know, who we're talking to.
Yeah, right. In fact, I was listening to somebody talk the other day, and it's about another topic in a sense, and nothing to do with listening to leads, nothing to do with real estate, but they were going on about how so many people, they get involved with something and then they quit before they ever get to success. And I just put that link in. So for any of you that have not had a chance to see this post, if you go to listingsleads.com/blog, you might be watching this down the road. Again, listingsleads.com/blog. Search for this post, struggling with Facebook ads and follow up. I believe there's a search feature, or just scroll down the page. And this call right here was actually with a lender who finally stopped screwing around, stopped getting distracted with shiny objects. And he buckled down and actually stuck with doing the ads, helping out the agents. And within a couple of months, he already had about $18,000 in GCI, and he's got about another 30,000 in the pipeline. And if you click it, you will see it'll just play the video. So definitely check that out. And then there's a client, Gordon Day, out of Pensacola. I know Caitlin was on the call yesterday. I don't know if she was on the call, if she's on the call here today or not. But he just emailed me this morning and I dropped it into the chat. And so we're going to kind of share both of these successes.
Yeah.
Right. And this is a call that E and I did with Gordon. Again, both of those calls are phenomenal. And I think one of the things as a lender, you are in a position to help the agents out. And it's not about just doing a Facebook ad or just doing a thing, but it's about keeping them on track, right? It's about helping them manage expectations and understand that, listen, just like the story that I was sharing just a few minutes ago, it's easy to do a Facebook ad. It's easy to get a couple of leads coming in. It's easy to complain about a bad phone number or somebody didn't call you. And I really want you to share your experience with this.
Can you stop for a second? Lynn was saying it shows connecting, but nothing started yet. I want to make sure everybody can see us.
Oh my God. What is with this connection? Hold on.
No, it's fine. It looks.
But she said she can't see anything.
Okay, I'm just trying to.
No, we got the stream is live. But oh my God.
Let me just hold on. I'm asking Lynn.
Yeah. I wonder if are they still having issues? Yeah, we got two people are watching on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, are you able to see us?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Because I see people bouncing in and out, and I was kind of wondering about that. I was like, it's kind of weird. So Jimmy says yes. Okay. Now I can.
Oh, okay.
All right. Awesome. And it's probably good that we maybe had a few issues because now we got a few more people joining us. So awesome. Yeah. Wow. We got 3 people on YouTube, Facebook, and then the StreamYard. So perfect. Okay. Awesome. So what were we talking about? I forget.
Oh, we were saying about you have to show the real estate agent. You got to have patience. You got to have.
Yeah. We know. I tell you what. To that effect, can you just share? Why don't you talk about? You got an agent that you're partnered with, I guess, for the lack of a better word, and you've been running ads for her listings. She's been running ads for her listings, and I would love for you just to share some of the leads that you've been generating, how you've been doing follow up, and I mean, last night at like
10:40, my lead called me.
What time?
The lead called me at 10:40. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it was hilarious. So I mean, Yi is already getting leads calling her back, right? And she's only started like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And then what? So yeah, you go ahead and start talking. So I want to hear.
Okay, so as a lender, I think we all have gone through this. chase after realtors, right? We want to make sure we don't get them mad. We pick up real estate agent calls at, I don't know, 11:30 p.m. because we don't want to piss them off. Sorry, my language. So with this system, what I'm trying to get to is you are in the driving seat, right? So you get your leads and you can funnel the leads, buyer leads, or even seller leads to your real estate agent. So you becoming this hero.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the key to listings leads, which no other system offers. So I want you to see in that light because I don't like to chase real estate agent. And another thing is if you expect the real estate agent to run ads, they're lazy, right? A lot of them don't do their work. So what I want you to do is take control of this relationship and use their listings to your advantage. And that turnaround will help them build their business as well. So
Yeah.
that's the way I look at the dynamics. So let me begin. Okay, so that's kind of the background I'm trying to emphasize. So now let's look at, so how am I gonna, what is my strategy? The cheapest and most cost-effective way of running ads and getting leads is just listed, open house. Scott, you
And,
can chime
and
in, right?
active. Yeah. And, a regular active listing would be great as well. Yeah.
Yeah, regular active listings. These ads are running about under $4 per lead. Okay, so you run ads, put a nice budget behind it, and to understand the Facebook ad strategy, I also want you guys to watch the training we have specifically for agents to run those ads because having a budget behind it is very important. In the system itself, we have a default of 35. We always recommend to go like at least 50 to 75. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay.
Yeah. No,
So
exactly.
this, it's like you're putting fuel into your car and you want it to go all the way to the hill. You want to give some, fuel and power, right? That is really the money. Why we want, the Facebook ads to be at least 50 to 75 bucks. Okay. So you run just listed active open house ads and you're gonna get notification from listings leads, and that's where the money is. Follow up, you got to do the follow up. So I don't know what system you use for follow up. It could be follow up boss, it could be high level, lofty, whichever system you use, or you can just use the listings leads and you follow. You got to call them. Once you get the leads, you got to have a system. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And you just keep doing it. At the end of the day, the more conversations, the more leads pipeline you build, it's going to convert because we're talking about numbers game. Am I right? Am I wrong?
Oh yeah, 100%. And I think, and that's where, so many people just absolutely fall apart is they don't realize, yeah, okay, I can run a Facebook ad, I can generate some leads, but like Gordon Day here, right? So,
Yeah.
excuse me, I was kind of formatting that while on the call live. So, since the end of March, all we do, and Yi is actually doing this right now with one of her agent partners. Yi actually just did an open house with one of her agents, and Yi, the agent, because of working with you, and you're working with her,
Yeah.
she's paying attention to how she's doing the open house. So they did a catered open house together. Nothing fancy. It was like water, mixed nuts, some potato, some different chips, and
Some
different things like
mini
that.
chip bags. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the agent had the open house flag in the front, and it's like a Wednesday 5 to 7 open house. It was a third open house. The listing's been on the market for a couple of months, so
Mm-hmm.
this is not a brand new great first open house type of listing. This is almost like a tired listing at this point. And because of the marketing they did, and because of some of the things they did with the like the seller showcase strategy, where they had this flyer, right? So they had some of the stuff related to the the 100-point home marketing plan. You actually brought. In fact, I should have brought up your video that you did.
So
But
I
they
have,
had a
yeah.
couple of people that came through that were buyers that have listings to sell, and so on the lending part, Yee's got a couple of people leads from that, and then the agent has now got a listing opportunity with one of these people, and that would not have happened without Yee working with her to do the open house and really do that open house at a little bit of a higher level than the agent would have normally have done it.
Yeah, so what Scott was saying is, as a lender, there are many ways you can facilitate this relationship or make better. Number one, I just said it, Facebook ad strategy, and then have the lead follow up and lead conversion. Okay, so that's strategy number one. Number two, which is parallel, is as a lender, I don't know how many of us do open houses anymore. A lot of times we don't. We sit behind the desk. We just kind of being very reactive, right? I'm not asking you to do a lot of open houses. Maybe pick the ones you think there will be really good traffic, right? Like the meat of the market type of a listing. Oh, then what you do is you offer what I call a lender packet to your real estate agent, right? That would include, 100-point marketing plan, like Scott was mentioning, a little catered package. It's easy to go get as a Costco, right? And even if you follow our open house mastery, maybe even get a poll that with open house flag on it, because you want the agent to showcase the listing in the neighborhood. You want her to feel like she looks amazing, and by helping her, you become an amazing partner, right? Okay, so that's strategy number two. And number three is, well, having an account that will help them do marketing, the
Yeah.
co-marketing part of it, which Scott can relate to.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and back to Gordon right here. So, and again, this is what Yi is kind of working with one of her agent partners on, and all he has done, Gordon Day here, just listed active and open house ads. It's $500 a month, so about $125 a week, and we're now into March, April, May, so 2.5 months into it. 2 pending closings, buyers, right? One of the buyers he just saw, so he's got a couple of listings as well.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of buyers, double-sided, the 690 listing. All right. And he's got more. I mean, he's having conversations. You got to watch, make sure you watch that video at the link I shared with you, because he is now having more conversations. He's got more buyers and more listings in the pipeline than he's had in a long time. And it's because he stayed consistent with it. And that's where the lenders can really have a positive and a major impact on the agents, because agents, they're just always all over the place. They're just, they get distracted in so many different ways. Because they work with buyers, they work with sellers. The way they market is different than a lender. And for a lender to be able to come in here and, I would focus on just a couple of agents at a time. I wouldn't try to get too many agents in my account.
Yeah, you can't handle all the leads coming in. So just kind of give you a quick um, lowdown. One of our lender clients, Craig Johnson, he ran three just listed, right? I
Yeah, he
think
does
three
three
ad.
ads a week
So he split the budget between himself and the lender. So he spent about
for the agent.
1,300.
An agent.
Yeah. So he spent about 1,300, got 485 leads, and the buyer lead per cost was about $2.77. So if you have six listings run at the same time, I don't think you can handle the lead volume, because you do have to call them. And then every 3 days, he does a follow-up call and emails. We have an email follow-up sequence that it goes out, but it is laboring, right?
Yeah.
But I know a lot of lenders, what they do is just like agents, you do haphazardly. You have a very weak lead follow-up system, or you don't call them back. So then you wonder, oh, these leads are no good. none of them are going to convert. They have bad name, phone number, which is not true. When you have bad, because I tell you, of all the leads I got, I did not have one bad phone number, which was like, I got like 30 leads within like 2 weeks time that
Yeah.
we run the ads on.
And you're
So
having you're having multiple conversations. So do this. All right. The stage is that you're having multiple conversations. You've had phenomenal conversations. You've had leads calling you back. All right. So share with us, how do you respond to a lead? So a lead comes in. Now
the lead,
you
yeah.
got the AI text follow-up initiated.
So I have signed up for the AI text follow-up in listings leads because I don't want to like, they're really good at like just immediately engage with the lead if it comes
Mm.
in, right? So that's number one. That's the positive thing. But I do check the AI conversation. As soon as I get this lead notification, they will tell you, "Oh, you congratulations, you got a lead. Oh, awesome." Then it says a lead conversation has started. So I click, I look at what conversation they're talking about, right? So normally, either the lead will tell you stop, or they just let the AI keep just poking at them, right? And they just don't respond. Okay, that doesn't, which is a great sign. So they're not saying, "Hey, just take me off. I don't want to talk to you," right? They just like in this sort of a hesitation mode, which is exactly what you want. So you call them right away. I
Well,
call them right.
the good news is it's a good phone number. So
Oh
you
yeah,
immediately know it's a good phone number because the AI text is
mm,
engaging, but they're
right.
just not engaging back at this point.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
you call them, making sure you have a script what you're gonna say. You say, "Oh, hi, this is a year with, ABC Mortgage calling regarding 123 Main Street. I saw you looking at that property. Um, let me know if you have 10 minutes. I would love to have a quick conversation with you." That's kind of I'm available today or tomorrow. That's how I just leave it. Most of the time they don't pick up the phone, right? So you leave a message. And then I immediately send a text message to them and say, "Hello, this is Yi. I just left your message. Look, hope you're doing well." The same conversation I said in my voicemail. And you just leave it there. I do not turn off the AI text follow up yet because I still want them to engage. You don't know when they're going to engage with who.
Yeah.
So I leave it.
And Craig Johnson mentions that as well. And I think
Yeah.
even Gordon also, right? So they'll
Yeah.
leave the AI text, and Gordon uses his AI text from his CRM. Craig Johnson uses AI text from listening to leads like he does. But all of them, they will let the AI text continue while they are following up. And then as soon as they connect with the lead, they'll turn the AI text follow up off, which is really easy to do. And listening to lead, you just click the lead's name, and then you'll see kind of on the right hand side where you can turn off the AI text conversation. Super easy. Yeah. And
Yes.
so I know you shared with me some of the conversations, and we don't need to get into details of conversations, but just to give a little bit of a flavor, I mean, you have had multiple, I mean, again,
I had good conversation with people. Okay. So one, I got a okay, so we talked about just sold, active listings and open house. We also did run a VA custom landing page. I just want to try it out. I actually got two leads out of that. They're not the cheapest leads, I have to say, right? But I did have conversation, not on the phone, but well, actually, I did have one conversation on the phone, and the other one, it just kind of still back and forth on the text. So we will monitor that and let you guys know if that's worthwhile. I think it's like 15 bucks per lead. I don't remember.
no, it's like $25 a
Or
lead.
25 bucks per lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Which
can
I mean,
see at least that way, which is not bad. I mean,
well,
think
yeah,
about,
and I think you got two leads, and you've been in conversation, one on text and one on phone with both of them.
right.
So I mean,
So
hey,
it's
if I
not
can
bad.
spend $25 and have even a 50% conversion, and by conversion at this point, we just mean where I'm actually back and forth with that person, that's
Right.
pretty
Right.
damn good.
Yeah. So okay, going back to the conversation I was having. Um, everyone has their own way of talking to people. All right. So when I engage, for example, in this particular lead who is a VA, came off of VA custom landing page, what I did is I relayed my story and said, I have family members who are veterans, which is true. You know, Scott is from 82nd Airborne. So I let them know I'm part of the family and I appreciate their service. So kind of tell a little personal story and being authentic about it that they can relate to. And I think it really did the trick.
You know,
So he responded, he's like, I will call you later. You know,
yeah, watch the video. I gave you all the link just a little bit ago. When you watch the video with Gordon in particular, he talks about don't try to pre-qualify people in the
yeah,
beginning.
right.
Have a conversation, figure out, and I mean, it's not like don't figure out, but just, you know, identify with them, connect with them, right? You know,
Find
see
some,
if there's something there that you both, you know, can connect around. But have
yeah.
a conversation. Don't sit there and start trying to, are you pre-qualified? You know, when can you come over to my office and sign a buyer broker agree? You know, don't even go there in the beginning. In the beginning, you just got to be a human being. You got to be someone they can actually think, oh yeah, I'd like to work with this person. Because
Yeah,
Gordon is
you
having great
really
success.
develop a rapport with this
There
person,
you go. Yeah.
essentially pretty much a stranger on internet, right? You manage to somehow catch him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And this is where too
once
many
you
people
have
just
a
over,
rapport,
yeah, and too many people overcomplicate it, right? I
yeah,
mean, they, you know, they will, you know, and how, so Gordon, and again, you know, I can't stress enough, what, you know, it's required that all of you watch all three of the videos on this page right here, because you are going to, the amount of practical, useful, and like hands-on stuff that they are doing that you will learn from these two guys right here, and then I think with E going forward as well, will just make you realize, you know, it's
yeah,
not that hard. Gordon, he canceled 4 or 5 other programs that he had, right? And if you read up here, you'll see up here he talks about it in this quote from him in the mastermind group. You know, there are so many ways to distract yourself and spend your money and waste your money because you get that dopamine hit like, oh, wow, you know, I saw this post in some group and, you know, someone da 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 da. And, but you don't, you know, you forget it even probably took them a few months to get up to speed and learn how to do it. Gordon, all he is using is listings to leads and his CRM. All Craig Johnson is using for the lead gen and part of it is listings to leads and a CRM. Now, you know, it's not that complicated because what are you trying to do? You're trying to figure out how can I create conversations with people in my marketplace, in my audience around buying or selling real estate. And the beautiful thing about Gordon is he's only calling people once a day for 7 days. And he's having enough conversations and enough people coming in that he doesn't need to hound them 3 times a day for 3 months. You know, none of that, right? He is not going nuts. Can you imagine? We talked about this the other day.
yeah. I think okay.
It's bad enough with you, right? You're calling people once a day. If you had to call people 3 times a day, and text 3 times a day, you would go nuts.
Okay, so I think I want to throw something at you.
Mm.
Okay, just from a lender's perspective. And I think it will probably speak to a lot of lenders here. One, let's assume you don't have any listings or real estate agents. How do you reach out to them to allow you to use one of the listings for ads? So that would be something that you want to talk about.
You know what? I actually thank you for bringing that up because I want you now. Again, I'm going to bring over your Instagram. I hope I don't embarrass you. So, in fact, there's the one we still don't have that one up that you did just because it didn't really show the house. I want you to go back and do it again. But Yi has been going to uh, properties in the area and recording videos. So, you know, she did this video here. She did another video. And now this is the video. This is the house that she did the open house with her agent partner. But this one was a cold listing that she went to. And she just asked the listing agent because the property's been on the market. So you're targeting listings that have been on the market for 30 plus days,
Yeah.
where, you know, the agent's going to be a little bit more incentivized to let you do a video. And she just asked the listing agent, do you mind if I do a video promoting your listing? And they're like, yeah, please do so. Nothing special. I don't want to say nothing special. That's not the right way to put it. Um, but in fact, it's the other listing that we didn't do yet with the Birds of Paradise. And you connected with that agent, and she was like, tell that story. The
Oh, I
Coldwell
was sorry. I
Bank.
was looking at Caitlin's post. Caitlin's on the call. Oh, hello, Caitlin. So
Yeah, Caitlin, the good thing with you is you've got a bit of a following already.
yeah, so it's
If you
easier.
did that, you would get nothing from it just because she doesn't
I'm
have
just
a
starting
following
brand
yet.
new.
She's just
Yeah,
starting brand new. So you're that idea, yeah. If you've got a following already, what Caitlin did is I saw that post and it was like just amazing, right? So
right.
yeah, Caitlin made a post from the Facebook page. Most she'd never talked to before, but that made them reach out to and that was Caitlin. I saw that, and I shared that with Yi, and I was like, man, this is fantastic
I
because I saw you got so many people reaching out to you.
Yeah, I actually have a story to share. So
Yeah,
I went to an open house, all right, because I wanted to talk to the listing agent. But this is another playbook you guys can think about. So you go to an open house and go towards the end of the open house where there's no other buyers. So you can actually have a conversation with the listing agent. Because right now, a lot of them are the inventory is not moving. And this is like a great time and say, hey, I can help you market your listing and get more buyers. They would like their ears will, perch. Like, what? And that's a really good way to have good conversations and also, expand your realtor network.
yeah, yeah. But again, I would almost get back to, and Caitlin, I don't know if you're on the call earlier and we are talking, is like you almost don't want to expand
Too
too
much.
much in
Yeah,
the
right, right.
beginning just because we want to,
Just
and you were talking about the fact that, she's already, I mean, you're already spending time following up with people. I mean,
but
with only one agent and who's got two listings,
that's
um,
plenty. Yeah,
you're already
you're good.
staying busy. No, I think as you get further along and you start automating more of the things and you get a little bit more comfortable maybe with it, you can bring on more agents into this. Caitlin, you're definitely at a different part of your business right now than he is. And so with Caitlin, she can do it where she doesn't have to, she can just send the leads right to the agents
Yeah,
maybe, right?
yeah.
With Yi right now, Yi is actually doing all the follow up. So Yi has all the leads coming to her. And I'll show you all how to do that with listings to leads where when you run it, in fact, let's do this real quickly here.
We should now let's go into the system, see how we run ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a
And
fun part.
so, so this is a lender account. So this is not an agent account. It looks very similar, but it's a little bit different. And I've already got an ad running for this, but let's just do another one so you can see. So we got the open house set. If you don't have the open house set for it already, just click over on the far right here. It says add open house, and you can add the date and time. You can see that right there. And click market listing, Facebook and Instagram ad. And what you're going to see that's different here than being in an agent account is now, well, let me go to create ad because we've already got an ad live. So when you have a live ad, it's going to take you here to show you that you've already got an ad out there. But let's
Hmm.
go to create ad. And notice here, send leads to lender account or send leads to listing agents. So Caitlin, I don't know how you've got it set up, but in Caitlin's model where you got like all these agents now that want to work with you and let you run ads for their leads, for their listings, you might want to just go, you know what, send leads to the listing agent's account. All right. Now Yee's got it set up because it's only one agent so far, and I'm sure you'll have a couple more agents here shortly. uh, Yi is following up with all the leads. So we set it to her. Now, if you're in an agent account, everything else will be the same. You won't see this because obviously it's going to go to your account only. In fact, one more thing here. In a lender account, you can actually click right here and run the ad on the agent's Facebook page. So you can actually do that as well. but E's running on
You
her
can
Facebook.
run both.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the location's going to autofill. Radius of 15, don't touch that. Just don't touch it. In fact, we should put that in advanced options.
Yeah. You are
It's
not
a
changing
lifetime
that at
budget
all.
of 35. And so when you watch the video from Craig Johnson, you watch the video from Gordon Day, you're going to know you want to get up to 125, 150 bucks a week in your Facebook ads as quickly as possible. You know, you wouldn't drive 100 miles on one tank of gas and then complain about the fact that you didn't make it. Well, you didn't make it there because you don't have enough gas in the tank. And
Right.
with the
Right.
Facebook ads, the way the algorithm works, and you got to spend money to get the algorithm putting your leads and ads in front of people. You got to just start, when you got 4 or 5 leads coming in a week, that's not enough. It's just not enough. You want to get to where you're getting, 10 to 20 leads a week. And I'm telling you, just like we saw with Gordon Day's comment that I put up earlier. In fact, I got to have you. I want you to figure out the GCI in that, because it's over $30,000 or $40,000 in GCI within 2.5 months
Yeah,
of
more than that.
spending about under $2,000,
Right. More
maybe
than
around
that.
$2,000. But he's going to be coming up to now about 40,000 GCI here very quickly. Right. And right. Caitlin says that. I love how leads can go to both because agents don't follow up.
Exactly.
Yeah, they exactly right. They reach out once or twice, but with either in both, we've got the email follow up and we got the AI text follow up. I would set it for both, and then you're still going to follow up. But back to the ad. So $50 now. Excuse me, $50. Now they're actually having an open house this coming Wednesday. So while normally, if it was just listed or active, I would let it go for 1 week. Because there's an open house on the 18th at 5 o'clock, I'm going to have the ad end on the 18th. And I just usually have it end like either at the start of or kind of halfway during the open house. So 3:43 for the ad to end, that's totally fine. And then hit create ad. And that's really it. So confirm your location. Don't add locations. Do not increase your radius. If you do, what's going to happen is you're going to actually generate fewer leads because now your budget is being spread over a much larger audience. And the impressions that people are going to, the number of times people are going to see the ad is going to decrease so much that you're just not going to generate leads. So just trust me on that one. Don't change radius. Don't add location. Do increase your budget. So I'll turn this off. Now, one thing you can do, and I do this all the time, I'll run an ad, and then like this ad earlier, I ran it for $35, and I was like, God dang it. I was like, oh, this drives me crazy. If you run an ad and you make a mistake, you can come right here and click edit. See how it says edit?
Mm-hmm.
And I do this all the time. Because again, I'm busy, I'm running around, and I've messed something up, or I realize, the photographs weren't great. I should have used better photos in the template. So I can make any edit to this. Earlier, what I had to do though is I had to come down to budget, and I changed 35 to 50. And I also forgot to do it to the end of the open house. I had it running for just 1 week. And you can do this a day later, a minute later, 2 days later, whatever. So don't feel like, oh my God, the ad was run yesterday. Now I need to edit it. And I can't, no, totally. Don't worry about that. So I changed the 35 to 50. I changed the end date from the 20th to the 18th. And I clicked update. And then the ad will keep running. And then we push, I don't know exactly, to be honest, I don't know exactly how it works, but I know we'll push those updated parameters back into Facebook, and then they'll update the ad and you'll be off and running. You'll be good to go. No problem. But dude, check out these lead numbers on that open house you did. Now we're rerunning it as for sale. And so $1.35, 7
Wow.
leads. And like you said, she has gotten almost, and I think you've actually had one bad phone number, or it might have been a landline.
That was a landline.
But I see all of these conversations happening on the AI text. You know, and the beautiful thing is when the AI text hits it, you know it's a good cell phone number. And so that's why you will call them up, she'll send them a text. And so tell us what happened. So somebody called you last night at like almost 11 o'clock.
No, I got that lead around, I think it was like 11. Okay. And AI text follow-up engage with him. He didn't respond or he didn't say no, right? I
Right.
normally do my calls after 7. Okay. Between 7 and 8, that's when I do my cold calls because
You mean your
everybody
lead
is at
follow-up?
home. Uh,
You mean your lead follow-up?
yeah, my cold calls, like all the leads I got, I call them about between 7 and 8 p.m.
Yeah.
I don't like to do them in the mornings. I tried in the past. I feel like nobody's answering, but 7 to 8, they usually answer the call. Because they had the dinner and they just, in a kind of nice mood. I don't know.
Maybe they had a
So
drink or
maybe,
they went
yeah.
to the gym. Whatever they're doing, they
Well,
did
whatever
it.
they're doing, everybody's busy, right? Everybody's
Yeah.
working. So by the time they come home, they take care of their kids, they make the dinner, it will be like 7 to 8. They actually
Mm.
finally have some free time. So I called the lead at 7. He did not answer. I left a message and I sent a text message to him as well. All right. Um. Oh, okay, good. Let me actually backtrack. On
Yeah.
the first message that AI text follow up said sent out from listings leads, it asked him like, let me know which option it is. Number one, are you wanting more information about the property? Or number two, you just browsing? All right. He responded number one. So I immediately turned off the AI text follow up and I sent him a text message.
Well, I'm sorry. I was kind of so he
So
came in at 11 p.m.
no, no, no. When the AI was engaging with him, the
Yeah.
AI was asking him, hey, are you
No, but
actually
I'm sorry,
wanting more information?
what time did he become a lead initially?
11 a.m.
Oh, 11 a.m. I'm sorry. I
Yeah, yeah,
apologize.
yeah. Yeah.
11 a.m. he becomes a lead.
Lead. And then at about two, he actually did not respond to that until after I called him. Maybe
Oh,
he
interesting.
responded to the AI text follow up. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. All right.
Okay. So 11 a.m. I got the lead, right? At about maybe 2 p.m. Oh no, I called him on the 7. He responded to AI text follow up about 7:30 maybe, kind of very similar. And then I immediately follow up with a text follow up.
Okay.
And he called me at 10 p.m., 10:40 p.m.
Yeah.
Wanted to know,
Yeah. And I think what
talk
did
about
he
how
say? He was like, I just wanted to call you back and we'll talk tomorrow or something.
yeah, he said, I'll talk to you tomorrow. So there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just never know how people respond. But just because they don't respond right away, don't get discouraged.
Yeah.
They're busy. Yeah, they have things going on. And there were people, they would say, they're not anxious to buy 12 plus months. So just put them on the regular follow-up
Yeah.
campaign and you'll get them one way or the other.
Yeah. Yeah. Caitlin, real quickly. So Caitlin's asking about the AI text. There's no tutorial. But hold on one second. Let me take this over here real quick and go to, let me see if I can.
I'll try to see if I can
I think if
find.
you go to the leads page in your account, you will see, and it's just a wizard, like literally. Here, let me bring.
Let me see if I can go into mine.
No, no, I got it right here. Perfect.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I just want to make sure I'm not showing any,
Yeah, yeah,
the
the detailed. Yeah,
yeah,
right.
just because Facebook doesn't like, it's not right. All right. So you'll see a button like, sign up for AI text follow up or something along those lines. And the wizard's going to be a little bit different, but essentially all you're going to do, assign it a name. So we have all these names that are kind of unisex names. Now, there's a reason for this. It's actually kind of interesting. There are times where in the AI text, like when things are going on, the service behind this will actually have a human being call them, right? And it could be a man or a woman that like literally calls the lead. And I can't
Mm-hmm.
remember exactly the circumstances on when that happens, but so, and that's why I picked this service to work with, was because not only is it AI text, but again, they've got actual people behind it that can step in when needed, which is very, very cool. So you're going to select a name. You'll give yourself a team. In fact, I'm going to get rid of this money moves mortgage thing. I thought you wanted to get rid of that.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
So team name, I'm just going to say right there. That's it. All right. So then you'll put it, this will autofill from your profile. And we got lender leads, agent leads, or both. So if you want to sign this up for your agents as well, you can. So sometimes your agents might be running an ad and you want the lead, the AI text for them as well, which could be kind of cool. Depends on how you want to do that.
Yeah.
And I believe if you do agent, I thought you could select which agents, but maybe not. Regardless, lender leads will do all new leads with a phone number. This will be on weekly summary. So, and then you'll get a weekly summary. Now, every lead that comes in that has a good phone number, well, actually, you'll get two emails now. One email will be the standard lead notification. Hey, Scott Pierce signed up for whatever. And
Yeah.
then you're going to get an email that will either say, Scott Pierce has been, the AI text has initiated a conversation with Scott Pierce, and or AI text tried, but the phone number was either a landline or just not a good phone number.
Right.
So
You'll
it'll be
get
like,
response right away. Yeah. I call it
and to
feedback.
me, it's almost worth the AI text follow up
Mm-hmm.
just because I know now that that's a valid cell phone number. Like, I immediately know this number is valid. And like Craig has said, Gordon has said, you have said, just knowing that the AI text has initiated with
Data
them.
comes and they have not rejected you yet.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Even if they say remove or stop or
You can
whatever,
still email them.
that's still fine. You can still call them up. So, that's just, sometimes people get a little bit, you know, flabbergasted or annoyed, like, oh, well, they
Mm-hmm.
said remove. That's just from the AI text. You should still call them up, right? There's no reason that you would not still call them up, and or send a text. And just, and keep in mind, and Caitlin, I don't know your experience on this, but what I love, Craig Johnson is a natural with this. Gordon, I think, is a natural. Yi is very natural with this. Um, don't try to pre-qualify. Just have a conversation with them, right?
Right.
So many agents try to start pre-qualifying right away, and that is such a turnoff. And a lot of it is because you're not getting a lot of leads coming in. And so when you don't have a lot of leads coming in and you're one or two leads a day or one or two leads every couple of days, every lead follow-up becomes super stressful. And so instead of just being a chill person and being real and just having a conversation, you're now, trying to squeeze every little ounce of life out of this thing. And so in your mind, you're thinking, oh my God, I got to really go for the jugular and I got to pre-qualify and set up an appointment without connecting. And so if you don't connect,
It's very
the
hard to convert. Yeah.
it's going to be super hard to convert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Caitlin
Caitlin,
has a
it
question.
will not
Yeah.
come from your phone number, unfortunately. They're working on a way of kind of making it a little bit different, but that has not so far been. Ye did have one person say, like, "Are you from this area?" And then Ye just came in on her own phone and said, "Yeah, I'm located right here," taking over from the AI text. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, no, AI made a comment because it would, but it doesn't matter.
No, yeah, actually, no, that one was the human being came in and said something.
No, well, the lead has a phone number which is way outside the area code.
Yeah.
So AI was trying to be cute. Say, "Oh, are you from Washington?"
Yeah. Yeah, whatever it was, it
Yeah.
was a little bit of an odd thing.
Yeah.
And but when the lead responds to the AI text, you'll get another email. So you'll literally get an email and you can just tap the green button in the email and it'll go right to the conversation and listings to lead. So you'll be able to see it real quickly and it's very convenient. And then if you see something that looks a little bit weird, or when it says qualified, all you got to do is just turn off the AI text and then follow up. And so far, you've had nothing but really good results from it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Just don't, you know, it because I just started like a couple weeks ago, and I don't let it get like feel like I'm disappointed because nothing has converted yet. I just tell myself, I know everybody who's done it, it takes 6 to 8 weeks. So I just gonna let the process play out. But you gotta do every day, do what you need to do. You gotta make the calls, you gotta text them, you gotta like follow up, just do the same thing like everybody else who's done it, who's been successful with it. And you just follow the same process and don't get let it, like,
Well, and
oh,
I
disappointed,
think so
whatever.
far,
Just feel
yeah,
indifferent.
I think so far the beautiful thing is that you're having good conversations every
That
day.
really matters to me. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, at this point, because even the best lead, I mean,
I'm
the
so
likelihood of
hated.
somebody you talking to goes, "Oh yeah, I want to, come over right now and
Yeah.
sign a buyer's agreement, and I want you to send me In fact, didn't you send a pre-qualification? You did send one to somebody, the USDA one. Wasn't that the cow
No, the
lady? That
the
was so
cow
funny.
lady, I didn't know. I sent her a PDF guide on USDA loan, and I
Oh,
figured
that's
she
what it
will
was.
convert someday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was so
You
cute.
just
This a
yeah,
lead came in, and it was for the listing here in Sutter, California,
and
and
she's the lead form says she's just dreaming, okay? And then we had conversations, and she's still reluctant, like, it would be nice to put two cows on my property." So I say, "Hey, what if, I send you a PDF guide to USDA loan?" I sent
yeah.
an email to her, right, with the and I know she opened it because you get notification. She opened that email. It was perfect. And then you just wait. You don't have to rush into these people. And they just follow up in a week and say, "Hey, do you have any questions on USDA?" Like, just follow up nicely.
Well, and that gets right to what Gordon was saying about how, listen, when you're not spending enough money and you're not generating enough leads, you start stressing so much on every single lead, and you got to be able to have a much more, I don't want to say casual approach, but a
No,
more
you do.
conversational, relaxed approach with it. And I don't want to say, because we don't make any money on how much you spend
Running
on
ads.
Facebook,
Yeah.
right? We don't make a percentage or a cut, but you got to spend enough money, and that's where we get into about you want to spend between 125 to 150 bucks a week so that you've got leads coming in, so that you're not putting pressure on people. Because when you start doing calling people 3 times a day, and you're texting 3 times a day, and you're doing that on and on and on and on, uh you're just turning people off, right? And that's why
Right.
Gordon said, I call people once a day. Now Gordon does 9:30 to 11, and then 9:30, 10:30. Yeah. He does 9 to 10:30 and 11 to 12. So he does his first set of calls from 9 to 10:30 for 90 minutes, and then he calls from 11 to 12. But he doesn't call a lead more than once a day for 7 days, and then he's on, and he puts them in his follow-up. And if the AI text is still active, they'll still have the AI text following up with them.
Yeah.
But he personally has enough leads coming in, enough conversations happening. And he said he's talking he's talking to more people than ever, and he's connecting with more people than ever.
Right.
So
So, Lynn has a question. What is the difference between AI text follow-up and the bot?
yeah, so the AI text, so the bots are something that we're actually, they do work
Yeah.
in a sense, but they got to be updated. So I had it running on actually one of your ads, and so the bot would initiate with the lead, but then when it gave the listing information, the photo was blank. So
Mm,
I don't want anybody using it yet, but once man, I tell you what, I can't wait to see how that works. The AI text will just send a text to their phone. So see, whatever text messaging platform you're on, Android or Apple. So the AI text will just be a text right in your phone like normal. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So,
Yeah. So Caitlin,
okay, Dylan.
I'm gonna tell you the answer, but then I'm also gonna refer you. Let me put this post back in there because I answer that exact question. So here's the link to what I'm looking at on my screen. And if you scroll down to the 10 commandments of Facebook ad strategy, you want to get to 100, 150 budget a week as soon as possible. You can split the ad budget between 2 to 3 ads, but a spend of a minimum of $50 per ad. So if it's one, and you're just kind of getting going, between $50 and $75 would be phenomenal. I've done $50 for 3 days and have had phenomenal results. Um, but if you get two, you could do 60, do 60 on one and 65 on another with 2 listings would be phenomenal. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you real quick, let me show you in the mastermind group something that's really interesting of one of these ads. And actually, no, this is Gordon. So this was just yesterday or the day before. Let me bring that up, and I will show you, because people are like, well, my ad is running and it's not a good cost per lead. And right here. So this is from yesterday. And these ads, were started the 8th or the 9th, so just a few days ago. And look over here on the left, $6.89 a lead, which, for some platforms, that's not terrible, but for us, it's terrible. And before I get to the good part, here's his other ad over here to the right, $6.84. All right. And Caitlin, this gets to your point, kind of, sort of. Although, Caitlin, I know you said you had an image that was a little bit too fancy, and I've noticed the exact same thing. Now, so this is off, and that's for 684. All I did is I turned the ad off, and I reran the ad as new. We're down to 412. And on the other one here, it went from 689 to 333.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the only thing that was different was nothing.
So you can see reset, force quit.
Same images, same coloring, same everything on both of them. And we went from, this one came down by 50%. This one came down by 100%. Nothing else changed. So sometimes you're just going to get an ad running. The first thing I would always look at, and you'll see this in the 10 commandments, you'll see this on the 3rd video on that link I just sent you, where I walk you through some of the ways that you can kind of mess things up. So I would look at the images in the template, and if they seem fine, then sometimes just as quick and easy as just turn the ad off and go rerun it as a new ad. Now, you can edit the ad, but I don't like editing a bad performing ad, because then I don't know the new cost per lead, because it's going to be a blended rate. So when an ad is performing badly after like 1 or 2 days, just turn it off and just rerun it. So, but listen, we got to go. I got another call coming up here in about 5 minutes. I hope. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Nope.
So I appreciate everybody. Please just drop, on the chat box any feedback. That would be awesome.
Actually, go to the mastermind group so we can actually have a conversation there. And definitely give us your feedback on this format.
Any custom landing pages that you guys thinking, or PDF guides specific for lenders that we need to work on, please let us know so we can get on it. Okay, I really appreciate everybody's feedback, so we can make this better and really productive for all the lenders that's on our system. We want to have a mastermind group as well, essentially a subgroup, so we can all share ideas, success, so we can grow our business at the end of the day.
Yeah. Awesome. And Caitlin, thank you for joining us. Lynn, thank you for joining
us. Really appreciate it. All your
everybody
help.
Else.
Yeah.
And next week we'll probably have the call, hopefully at the normal time of Thursday at 11 o'clock. And if anybody wants to reach out to us, please do. And again, get into the mastermind group. I'd love to hear some comments on this new kind of format, or whatever you want to call it, for the lender calls. We can't wait to do it again, and we'll get more people on the next ones, because it'll be the normal one. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys.